Dear students, today we'll see what do we mean by valence band and conduction band. So we should know very importantly what is valence band and what is conduction band. Conduction band. Okay. Now to know what is valence band and conduction band, before we should know what is an energy level. What is an energy level of an atom, of a single separated or isolated atom? If you take a single atom, then you can see you will have a nucleus here. This is the nucleus. This will be the first orbit, second orbit, and third orbit. You can also have fourth orbit. Okay. If you take from the center of the nucleus, this will be radius 1, this will be radius 2, this will be radius 3. So these are the radii of the orbits. So this is the first orbit, this is the first orbit, this is the second orbit, this is the third orbit. Now, every orbit, as I have told earlier in atomic structure also and Niels Bohr theory also, that every orbit or every shell is associated with a specified amount of energy. Now that energy, if you mark, say if you mark on a graph like this is the edge of the nucleus, and say this is distance radius 1. So this will be the energy level marked by the orbit 1. So this is the energy what is there, which is of orbit 1. Similarly, if you go to radius 2, this will be energy of orbit 2. Similarly, if you go to radius 3, this will be energy of orbit 3. So this axis is going to mark the energy level. Okay, energy level. So energy level of orbit 1 is this. So here you can see the energy level. Energy level of orbit 2 is this. Energy level of orbit 3 is this. So these are the energies of particular orbit in a single or separated or isolated atom. In a single atom, if you take one atom separately and if you consider the orbits of that, then the energy of the first orbit will be shown like this, energy of the second orbit will be shown like this, energy of the third orbit will be shown like this. As you go outer, the energy will go on increasing, no doubt, but these are energy levels. These are energy levels because you are taking of a single separated atom. Okay. Now here students, similarly if you put atoms together, if there are many atoms together, if they are, this is atom 1, this is atom 2, this is atom 3, atom 4, atom 5, atom 6, atom 7, atom 8, atom 9, all the atoms are together, then their respective energies of every orbit will get combined. That means, see if you draw a diagram like this, energy level or diagram, this is energy level, energy bands or energy level. This will be your edge of nucleus. Now here, all these atoms are connected with each other. Okay, and all the atoms will have their first orbits. Now all the energies of the first orbits of all the atoms, if you combine, it becomes a energy band. This is the band of first orbit, band 1. Similarly, if you take the second orbit of all the atoms, then you can combine all the energy levels as energy band. So this will be the band 2. Similarly, if you combine the energies of the third orbit of all the atoms, because adjacent atoms also are going to contribute in that, then you will get the band of the third orbit. These are called as, so this is band 3. So this will be called as energy band diagram. So now we have seen what is energy level diagram, which was single energy of single atom of single orbits, and then we have now seen what is energy band diagram, where many atoms together, if you combine them, all those combined energy will be taken as bands of energy, and this will be the band of the first orbits of energies, this will be band of the second orbits of energies, this will be band of the third orbits of energies. Okay, and all these bands will be with their respective electrons. Okay, now this is what we say, what are bands, energy bands. Okay, now once we understand what is energy level and energy band, then we can go to see what do we actually mean by valence band and conduction band, the main topic of today. Now here students, to know what is valence band and conduction band, we know that when we studied atomic structure, so this was your nucleus and these were the orbits, orbit 1, orbit 2, orbit 3, orbit 4 and all. Okay, so the first orbit will have 2 electrons, second orbit will have 8 electrons, and the last orbit will have remaining electrons. Okay, say for example, if you take an example of silicon atom, which will have 14 electrons, so this will be 2 in the first orbit, then you will have 8 electrons in the second orbit, and third orbit will have 4 electrons. So 8 plus 2 is 10 plus 4 is 14. So 14 electrons of silicon are represented like this. Now we know that electrons in the last orbit of any atomic structure, electrons in the last orbit are called as valence electrons. Now these electrons are little loosely attached with the nucleus. The negative force of this electron and the positive force of this nucleus, that will have little less attraction. That attraction will not be very high, and due to that, if you apply any external energy, external energy like heat or light, okay, these, out of these 4 electrons, you can detach 1 or 2 electrons from that. So you can detach this 1 electron out. This can come out. This can come out of the atomic structure. Now, when it was in the last orbit, that electron was called as valence electrons. But now, because of an external force, if it has come out, then it will be called as a free electron or conduction electron. Free electron or conduction electron. Okay. Now this we are speaking about a single atom. Now similarly, if you have many atoms together, and if you want to draw energy band diagram for it, then if you see the energy band of the last orbit, you don't take now first, second, you take only the last orbit, because we want to speak only about valence electrons. If you take the last orbit, the energy band will be shown like this, and that last orbit will have valence electrons. So this band will be called as valence band. This band will be called as valence band. This is energy band, and this is edge of nucleus. Okay, now if you apply any external force, we have seen that you can get 1 electron detached from the atomic structure and it will come out, and it is called as a free electron, or that electron which is going to help for conduction, which is going to help for you to have a current to flow. That means these are free electrons. Now if you are having many such atoms, then many such free electrons will come into picture. Then those electrons will have their own energies. Now that energy you can mark it as a conduction band. That energies you can mark it as a conduction band. Okay. So always for any atom, any atomic structure, means any set of atoms, you can mark what is valence band and what is a conduction band. Any crystal, if you say, where there are many atoms together, many adjacent atoms together, you can mark what is valence band and what is conduction band. Valence band is the energy associated with the valence electrons of the last orbit, and a conduction band is the energy associated with the electrons which have become free due to some external force. Okay. Now this is valence band, this is a conduction band, and the gap between them will be called as forbidden energy gap. Will be called as forbidden energy gap. Now this gap will decide whether a given material is a conductor or insulator or semiconductor. And from here we go on to see what do we actually mean a semiconductor, and then what are the types of semiconductors.